वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Many times in our life, understanding the philosophies or understanding rather any concept, it is very difficult to accept that which is totally opposite to each other. Both can get the same result. Both can be either useful, both can be either harmful. But apparently, both the standpoints are just opposite to each other. Sometimes when the goal is not in our mind, goal is not clear in our mind, so you will find to achieve that goal, we try that which is totally opposite to each other. But we believe that both will give the same result. A social example, for example. Goal is to be happy. None of us wants to be unhappy. We all want to be happy. Whatever we do is to be happy. In pursuit of becoming happy, we try that is totally opposite to each other. I gave this example earlier also. People get married to be happy. People take divorce also to be happy. Diametrically opposite to each other. But the purpose is the same. So here, philosophically speaking, when Sri Krishna was praising the Karma Yoga, that we must act. We cannot live without action. And then he is praising to give up the action or having detachment with the action. Whatever karma we do, first condition that we must do. There is no option. Nobody can say, I don't want to do anything. Even if you sit quietly without doing anything, also is a karma that you are sitting quietly. Because your nature, unless you reach that knowledge or equilibrium, sattva, till then, because of our rajas and because of our tamas, we continuously keep on doing activities. In one place, when you go, very calm, serene atmosphere. You are going near the ocean, not that big waves, very calm ocean. Another place you will find terrible wind. Here also we have many days. Just 15-20 days before we had a terrible wind. The trees will fall and my office glass also broken. So much wind. How it is possible? It's because of the difference in temperature in around the globe. So wherever there is less pressure, or rather where there is more temperature, air becomes thinner. Thinner air can move faster, and a thicker air will push it. So the pull and push goes on continuously. And it is going on since inception, if there is any. When it will stop, it will not stop. Because this continuous chain reaction of depression and force of wind or whatever. So what happens? That this movement continues. The air movement continues. There are small actions which contributes in the movement of the air, and there are big factors which contributes to the movement of the air. If I do the hand like this, also contributes in moving the air to create the disbalance. Or a plane is flying, or any kind of tornado, whatever is there, huge. So difference is not in kind, but there is a difference in degree. This continuous struggle, one side is Rajas and Tamas, and one side is Sattva. We are trying to reach that equilibrium. We are trying to reach that state. When you sit and try to meditate, what you are trying to achieve is the calmness, which is Sattva. What doesn't allow you to do is your desires will not allow you to sit even for 10 minutes. In the name of duty, in the name of some kind of compulsion, you get up and you are not, that doesn't allow you to sit quietly. Or sometimes you are sitting quietly, apparently you are very quiet, but you are sleeping. That is called tamas. Tamas and sattva looks same. If I lock myself in the room, if I enjoy the seclusion and spend my time in study and meditation is one. But apparently I have shut my door. Maybe I'm sleeping inside. Do you think this sleeping and study and meditation is the same? No. So sattva and tamas looks the same. In between is rajas. And our mind, our body is adjusted to this rajas. For example, if all the lights are switched off, it becomes dark. We can't see anything. And if the light increases so much, the result is that you can't see anything. You can see at this light because it is still in the level of tolerance. We can tolerate this light. You cannot look at the sun at 12 o'clock. It is much more than what your eyes are habituated with. Everywhere it is same. It is not only for us. A lot of study is done. You know, in maybe could be many places, but USA is famous for that kind of trees, kind of, what do you call it? Kind of palms. So high, hundreds of feet high. Your one coconut tree is nothing in front of it. It is so high. It is so big that you can cut the trunk of the tree and the road can pass through. It is so big. So they studied long before, I think 35, 40 years before. They did a study. They found in forest, could be in California somewhere, they found the tree which is the tallest. And as the people do rock climbing, the experts did that tree climbing and studying every 10 feet to 15 feet. There are different types of birds, different types of insects stay there. That which stays on the top of the tree doesn't stay in the middle of at the bottom of the tree. For example, ocean. Those animals, fish, etc., aquatic animals, those who live in the tree, live in the ocean, those animals or the fish which are habituated to be at the bottom of the ocean, you bring them up on the water surface, they just die because they're habituated to be at the bottom of the ocean with so much water pressure. When they are surviving, is the external pressure and inside the blood pressure of the body pressure is equalized so they can survive. As soon as you bring them on the surface of the water, chances are there that they will break into pieces because the inside pressure is there, but outside there is no more water pressure. Again, that which on the top of the ocean or the first few meters, if you bring those animals at the bottom of the ocean, they will die because they are not habituated with that pressure. In the same way, we are not habituated to be extreme good sattva or extreme tamas. Little different example. We all eat, we all like to eat, but you cannot eat food with the gusto which the pig can eat. The way pig can eat food, none of us can eat with that gusto. Because its whole being is in eating only. Different animals, different birds, different insects have these different kinds of predominance of rajas and tamas. Some animals are there by nature, they are quiet. Some animals are there by nature, they are furious. They are made like that. In human being, we are special, not because we can say that's why, no. Other day I was thinking, these are different ways of thinking. If you see the animal kingdom, who are the more intelligent, who are the more efficient in handling things, are only those who have got thumb. There is a theory in biology. So I hurt my thumb, little cut. So I was not able to play harmonium. Yesterday was Ekadashi. So I told myself, what a big deal. Don't use your thumb. It was so difficult for me to play harmonium without thumb. Just spend 10 minutes and live your natural, normal life without using the thumb. Can you hold a glass? You cannot. Try to hold the teacup also, you cannot. We are 90% of our efficiency will vanish if the thumb is not there. That means the thumb has contributed into what we are today. Monkeys can, gorillas can, chimpanzees can, tiger also cannot. But there are some animals who are on a higher ladder, who have got thumb to hold the things. Even the squirrel has a thumb to hold. Otters has a thumb to hold. But four-legged animals doesn't have that. They have thumb, but they can't use the thumb to hold the thing. In a minor way they can, but they can't hold the objects. Why we are talking this is this. From the standpoint of Prakriti, from the standpoint of nature, which all of us are born equally. There is a shloka which will break the idea which normally people have about this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, etc. We say, no, these are all the Brahmins they classified, and then they took privilege and Shudras were not given privilege. No. What the society is given to you for the easy improvement of the society, they classified the people. Here we are sitting, there is no inequality, but still you can classify people. Men and women is one classification. People with specs, without specs is another classification. People tall and short is another classification. So if there is something we can say, ladies can sit this side. Why? Why we should sit in the left side? Why we cannot sit? You can sit anywhere you want. Caste system was a class system. Anyway, topic is not the caste system. Topic is this. Janmana jayate Shudra. All of us are born Shudras. Not from caste of Shudra, no, by nature. If none of us would have gone to school, we would have survived doing some menial job. That is called Shudra. Sanskarat Dvija Uchyate. Dvija is another name of Brahmin, but the meaning of Dvija is not Brahmin. Dvija, Dve means two, Ja means birth, Janmana Jayate. One who is born two times is called Dvija. Still he is not a Brahmin. Who is born two times? You are born as a human being. Then you initiate your life for enlightenment of any kind. So you are given this Yajna Upavita Samskara, Bengali they say Poite, Janevu. So Gayatri Mantra is given to you. Gayatri Mantra was not only for Brahmins, no. Gayatri Mantra for everybody. Swami Vivekananda, he taught spirituality, and that can be translated into social reform, but he was not a social reformer. He said, I am not social reformer. Last 1 or 2 years of his life, he did a small, very casual but a simple ceremony. Give Gayatri Mantra to all of them, those who are laborers and all that. No, everybody is eligible to be enlightened. At least Gayatri Mantra is nothing but a prayer for enlightenment. So those who are start that spiritual life, it is called the second birth. There is another group who are born 2 times, are the birds and some animals also. First they are born as an egg, and then from egg they are born as an animal or a bird. All the birds are like that. Some animals, all the lizards, start from your home lizard to crocodile. They all are born as an egg first, and from egg they come out. So they are also born twice. So in Sanskrit language, birds are also called dvija. And also those who are invested, those who are initiated, those who have a Gayatri Mantra or Ishta Mantra or whichever, those who have begun their spiritual life are also called dvija. You will find sometimes the statements, as Miss MacLeod used to say. Miss MacLeod was elder to Swami Vivekananda. But when people asked, Madam, what is your age? She said, I am around 7 years old. You look old, how you can be 7? I am born after I came in contact with Swami Vivekananda. So you can think your second birth is what? When you really start living consciously. Otherwise, everybody lives. Those who are born all live their life. When you live a life with a purpose, with a higher purpose, spiritual purpose. Spiritual could be not religious, could be anyway spiritual. Some people say, came to know, okay, my life is meant for service to the people. Suddenly lifestyle changes. There is a famous story. In India, we have great kings and queens in the history. One of the greatest queen who did so much for the society and the country and for the religion, she was the queen of Indore, Ahalyabai Holkar. Now this Ahalyabai, she wanted to study scriptures. So a Pandit started coming and teaching her Bhagavad Gita. So I said, Madam, we start with the first sloka. Okay, we start. So Pandit read the first sloka, Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yujutsava, Mamakaha, Pandavascheva, Kima Kuruvata Sanjay. That is the sloka. So the Pandit uttered Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, then started to explain Kurukshetra, which is a Dharmakshetra, where the war was going on. Ahalyabai said, can we stop? Okay, as you say. Tomorrow I will come. No need to come. But we have not even studied a single sloka. I have understood what I need to understand from Bhagavad Gita. Though technically it doesn't mean that. But she understood the meaning. Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre. Now Kurukshetra is the name of a place. But Ahalyabai understood as Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Kshetre, Kshetre, Dharma Kuru. Do your charity come religion come duty everywhere. And those 2 words changed the life of Ahalyabai. And today, whether it is Kashi Vishwanath temple or any temples in everywhere, Ahalyabai's hand is there. There are some people who come in this world and they become the key person in the history to overall save what you are. There are some scientific inventions which completely change the human life just because of one small discovery or small invention. In the same way, in the spiritual history or religious history, some people come, play such an important role which changes the future of that race and that religion completely. If you historically and from religion point of view, these are the three people who changed everything. There are many in small way or big way, but these three people, if they would not have been there, we would not be what we are. We would not be sitting here and studying Bhagavad Gita also. The first was Chanakya. Second was Adi Shankaracharya. And in the recent history, the third was Swami Vivekananda. We may not understand his importance. The more days will go, we understand. We would not be what we are. No Adi Shankaracharya, all of us would be either those karmakandis, or we would have been converted to Buddhism, or later on Christianity, Islam, etc. Your holding on to your own religion is because of these three people in different parts of the history. So here, two diametrically opposite subject, to do action and to renounce action, looks opposite to each other. But Krishna is praising both. So the first shloka of this 5th chapter, Arjuna asks, Sir, tell me one. Don't tell me both are helpful. Both are good. If both are good, how to choose? So Arjuna had told, Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punar yogam cha samsasi. Just now you are praising sannyasa, means renunciation of action. Then again you are praising yoga, karma yoga. Yat shreya etayoho ekam. Tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Tell me clearly and correctly which one of these two is beneficial to me. Either you say doing karma is beneficial, or you say not doing karma is beneficial. How both can be beneficial? This is the standpoint I wanted to say. That's why these different ways and examples we gave. Diametrically opposite, but both are helpful. So Krishna told, Sannyasa, Karma Yoga, Cha. Karma Yoga and Sannyasa, both. Nishreyasa Kara, both have capacity to take you to the liberation. Ubham is both. Still, Karma Sannyasat, Karma Yoga Vishishyate. Still, it is better to do karma than not to do karma or renounce the karma. One thing that both are, if done in a proper understanding, will get you to the goal, liberation. Why Karma Yoga is good? Because it is according to your nature. In one classroom, some novice monks are sitting. It's a true story. So the Acharya or the teacher was teaching how we should do karma, how karma can become Karma Yoga. So one brahmachari asked, one novice asked, it is true, you are teaching us how to do karma. Can one day you teach us how to remain without karma? To do karma is our nature, something we will keep on doing. Can you live happily? can you live with that better state of mind without doing karma? Not doing karma goes against your nature. So here, Krishna says, first we have to understand that both are helpful. But doing karma will not be beneficial to you unless you do it as a karma yoga, means karma with detachment. Either karma with detachment or karma where you offer the fruits of your result of your action to your Ishta. There are two ways of doing karma. Detachment. Karma we have to do because our nature is to do karma. But I do not want to achieve anything out of karma. That detachment with the result or the fruits of action is called karma yoga. Then there is sannyasa, renunciation of karma. Actually, renunciation of karma means how? You cannot renounce karma because you are bound to do karma. You cannot sit down. Sannyasa also he will explain later on. One who is detached. Next look, actually he says, one who renounces is a sannyasi. But then who is a sannyasi? Very interestingly, many things which we are practicing now, it is one kind of interpretation, it was not told in the scriptures. Later on we added and accepted. The very concept of what you call sannyasa today, for your understanding, there are two words which we use together, or rather we use for monks. One word is a sannyasi and one word is a sadhu. Sadhu means good. Sannyasi means one who has renounced. So when technically you hear that somebody is a monk, somebody is a sannyasi, 100% he is or she is in the tradition of Adi Shankaracharya, technically. The very word sannyasi comes only for that. But before Shankaracharya, sannyasis were not there. Yes, they were there. They were sannyasis in the true sense which scripture says. In that case, you also can become a sannyasi. This wearing girva cloth, those sannyasa definition comes from Adi Shankaracharya. So here he says, Gneya sanitya sannyasi. Consider him or her as a sannyasi who yo na dveshti na kankshati. One who doesn't hate, one who doesn't expect. Expectation is always out of liking. That's why it is, both are used. Na dveshti, na kankshati. We are always tied up with this twins thing. Love and hate, hot and cold. All these are dualities everywhere in our life. To be free from that, you have to have a standpoint. For example, oh, it is too hot, switch on the aircon. Oh, it is too cold, switch off the aircon. Why you switch on the aircon? Because that heat was bugging you, was not allowing you to sit comfortably. So to make your sitting comfortable, air condition is put. Purpose is not coolness. Purpose is to be completely free from the idea of hot and cold. You don't switch on aircon to enjoy coolness, no. So that you don't think about heat or cold, you can go above that. This standpoint is to be understood. Krishna says here, Nirdvandvo, one who is above these dualities. Liking, disliking, love and hate. If you love somebody, definitely there are people whom you don't love. If I love cold, definitely I don't love the heat. Idea is not to love A or B. Idea is to go beyond this duality. To go beyond this duality is sannyasa. Not wearing red cloth, no. So he says, Jnaya sanitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati. Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. One who is above this duality can become free from these dualities, free from the bondages. The type of duality which you go above, that type of bondage you are free from. Our Hinduism, we have this problem. Go above this duality, you will get mukti. No, mukti is different. If you go beyond this duality, on that level, only bondage you go, you'll be free from that bondage. Just by going above this duality, you cannot be free from the highest bondage, no? Sri Ramakrishna was asked, it is said that if you take bath in Ganga, you get liberation. Sri Ramakrishna, yeah, you get liberation, but that type of liberation, you see, you cannot, that liberation from ignorance is altogether different. So he nicely told, when you take bath in Ganga, yes, you are liberated, but all your sins are sitting on the tree near to the river. As soon as you took bath and came, they again sit on you. That means what? Taking bath, yes, it releases you from bondage of that level. Just taking bath is so simple. So that simple bondage you can be free from. You cannot be free from ignorance just by taking bath in Ganges. For example, we have scriptures say this. If you die in Varanasi, you get liberation. Yes, you get liberation. Now, what kind of liberation, what type of liberation, we do not know. I'm not telling you cannot get absolute liberation by dying in Varanasi. Nice discussion we read other day. A senior Swami staying in Varanasi. Swamiji, do you think by dying in Varanasi you will get liberation? So the Swami are told, why you are asking me? You can ask me, what is my opinion? Who am I to certify this statement? But so many great people have told that if you die in Varanasi, you get liberation. But again, without getting the knowledge of Brahman, you can't be liberated. So that senior Swami says, I understand by combining these two, what the great people say, that yes, by dying in Varanasi, you get liberation. Look what Sri Ramakrishna has told. When a person dies in Varanasi, Shiva gives that Taraka mantra, a mantra which is liberating mantra. And Divine Mother, Annapurna or Parvati or Uma, she cuts the bondage of Jiva. Sri Ramakrishna had that vision. So actually you didn't get liberation by dying in Varanasi, but you got liberation by getting this knowledge. So there is another thing. Here he says that he or she is a sannyasi, is a person of renunciation, who neither hates nor expects. Expects means what? Expecting happiness or anything positive from your action. To be free from these dualities, nidvandvo hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. You can be easily liberated, easily you can be freed from the bondage if you are above this. What is the bondage? So hot it is, how to read? It is so cold, how to read? To be free from this bondage, you go above this heat and cold. Scripture says, modern people without knowing scripture also say the same. Singapore government has released one instruction. What temperature we should keep? Guided, you can keep whatever you like. Recommended temperature is 26. What is 26? It is neither hot nor cold. Air condition is not meant to make the room so cold that you bring blanket from tomorrow. Its purpose is not there. Purpose is to defy the heat, not to enjoy the coolness. So this is, I don't know whether I am able to convey, to go beyond this suffering from heat and cold. You put something and you are free from this. Then only easily sukham bandhat pramuchyate. What was the bondage? Bondage was that heat and cold were not allowing me to concentrate. That was the bondage. It was very hot. So to remove the heat, we lowered down the temperature a little. So it is neither hot nor cold, and you became free from this bondage of not being able to study because of heat and cold. So remember this one, that duality, if you go beyond that duality, you will be free from the bondage of that level. Don't immediately translate into the highest liberation, no. In practical life, you come in front of these dualities. Liking, disliking, love and hate, appreciation and criticism. Continuous it comes to us. And we need to be free from that to remain or to go beyond this bondage which makes you bound in this world. What bounds us? Love and hate. You love something so much, which becomes a problem. You hate something so much, that becomes a problem. So you take a standpoint where no love and hate is there. It's a very sattvika state of equilibrium. You are free from these dualities. And when that comes, all the small bondages of our practical life. So whenever there is a suffering, suffering is because of a bondage. You study what bondage it is. Bondage is because of one kind of duality which you are suffering from. Go beyond that duality, you will be easily go beyond the suffering of that suffering which used to come from that duality. You will be free from that. So you see, a simple equation is given here. You are suffering in this world because of a particular kind of bondage, particular kind of state, which doesn't allow you to be happy. You are bound. How to be free from that? A duality of that level, duality which is the source of that bondage. Go beyond that duality. You go beyond that duality, you be free from the bondage of that level or of that subject or of that concept. So here is the idea that sannyasa, again, these 4 ashramas, brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa. Sannyasa is not for sannyasi. Sannyasa is an ideal for the whole society. So do you think everybody will be a monk? No. Idea is to graduate. Not everybody can graduate, but you try to pass high school. Then you pass higher secondary. Path is that. Path is that. That was this Chatur Varna. Varna is not bondage. Varna is a classification of the society. And it was done in such a way, social practices were in such a way that even if you are born where there is no education, there is no comfort, there is no samskaras and habits and atmosphere to grow, even if you are born there, your ideal is to become that sattvika person who is intelligent, who is spiritual, who is kind-hearted, etc. These qualities are qualities of a Brahmin, not one who is born in a Brahmin family. No. This mistake India did, that we consider that a Brahmin son has to be a Brahmin. No, it was not there. You know, 3 or 4 generations before Pandavas, who was that king? Shantanu, Shantanu. He did not give, correct me, maybe I'm wrong. Person is wrong, concept is correct. He did not give kingdom to his sons. He didn't give the kingdom. He said, no, none of my sons are eligible for this kingdom. Totally an outsider. A small incident I tell. So many kings in Indian history who ruled the major part of Indian subcontinent. One among them, for that period of time, was Chandragupta Maurya, who ruled the India. Chandragupta Maurya's, nobody knows from which family he came. And this is the greatness of the guru or greatness of the person. Chanakya is traveling from one village to another village and finds some children, poor children or the street children, they are all playing there. Chanakya is looking at particular boy and told, like, come, take me to your home. So took to home, the lady is there, husband is not around. Means husband is not available, he was not there. Told her mother, send your son to my Gurukula. She said, I don't have money to pay. I don't have money to pay your fees. You don't need to pay fees. But why you are selecting my boy out of so many? Your boy will become king of India one day. This was the vision, this was the eyes. And that child who was playing in the field, he was picked up and he was made the king. So idea is this, to be free from this bondage. And what is the bondage? Every state is a bondage because you need to go to the next stage. Whatever limits you from your spiritual progress, whatever pulls you down, not allowing you to progress, is your bondage. And to come out that bondage, there is a equivalent pair of opposites, dvandva, go beyond that dvandva and you will be free from that bondage. We'll take up next time. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.